So good morning. Welcome to our meditation. And one of the areas we're navigating when we meditate is our interests, both intentional interests but also unintentional. And I think a big part of the terrain of mindfulness meditation is navigating the mind's interests when they're different than our own. So if you're distracted about something that happened long ago, your mind is interested in long ago. If it's planning the future, your mind is interested in planning the future. And if it's in the present, maybe it's something that troubles you. And so the mind is, even if you want to, excuse me for a moment, even if you want to be interested in your breathing or in the meditation, your mind keeps going into your troubles. And part of meditation is to start becoming disinterested in some things and to value the process of disinterestation, becoming disinterested. And to appreciate this is part of it. It's almost like a natural process. So for example, as we get more centered, focused, comfortable, delighted with being meditating, then naturally the interest will go towards the goodness of meditation, and we'll become less interested in other things. If the meditation is difficult, then it's a little bit more difficult to become disinterested with things, have more interest for meditation. As we become wiser in meditation, wiser in practice, the wisdom guides our interest. And the wisdom has some sense of the significance, the value of becoming disinterested in some things. And so this natural process of becoming more and more disinterested in things which don't serve us, don't help us, becomes stronger. And we become more, the wisdom teaches us, even though it's difficult meditation, even though there's challenges, it's really wise, it's really good to be interested, to be present with these experiences. So this whole idea so one way of understanding all this is navigating interest. So for this meditation, I'd like to suggest that another distinction, we can have troubles in our lives or troubles with ourselves, within ourselves, and then we can be troubled by it. So I can be troubled by a car. One of my troubles might be I have a car, for example, that it's not the case, but a car that needs to be repaired. And that's just a trouble, the issue, a topic that has to be addressed. I can be troubled by it. I can feel stressed by it. I can feel afraid. I can feel preoccupied. I can feel angry. All kinds of ways in which I feel troubled by it. One of the things to become disinterested in is how we feel troubled. We might be troubled by what goes on inside of ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our judgments about ourselves. But the thoughts are one thing. Being troubled by it is something else. And to sit and meditate and lose interest in how we feel troubled. We still can be aware of it, be mindful of it, but not to invest energy, belief, authority, importance in this feeling of feeling troubled. Because if we invest in it, it gets stronger, it persists. And learning to become less and less interested in the feeling of being troubled, and more interested in our experience as it is, in the simplicity of what it is one of the ways in which this meditation can deepen. So, assuming a meditation posture, and gently close your eyes. And maybe you're troubled by what I said. So there's a lot of thoughts and feelings, reactions. So you're welcome to those. I certainly don't want to take those away from you. Without you choosing to do so for yourself. But if you recognize that whatever troubles you at this moment, the subjective experience of feeling troubled, maybe you can switch your interest, switch your orientation, so that feeling doesn't influence how you bring attention now to your body breathing. So your interest now goes into how your body is experiencing breathing at this moment. Every day we breathe slightly differently. Relaxing, being interested in how you can relax your body, your mind. Softening. Letting go of any thinking that takes you away from the present moment, takes you away from mindfully breathing. And if there's any gentle, quiet thinking that guides you to staying with your breathing, staying in the present, let those thoughts encourage a greater quieting, settling. You don't have to let go of those thoughts. Might it be all right to lose interest in your distracting thoughts? What is your mind interested in? What desires might be behind those interests? Is there a way of letting go of interest in your desires so you're more fully present here? And as we come to the end of this sitting, to turn your interest outwards to the world around you, to the people who are nearest to you and wherever you're meditating, maybe someone else meditating with you or someone else in the house or neighbor. And outward, beyond to the county, the province in which you're in, colleagues, co-workers, out across the lands, to be interested, but in a particular way, to be interested in their welfare and their well-being, to be interested in with kindness and respect. And is there something about having meditated for half an hour, being maybe a little more calm or settled, that allows you your respect for others, your kindness to others, be more embodied, emotionally fuller? Not a casual impulse of the moment, but something that's maybe embodied within. And this interest in kindness and care and welfare, perhaps in your own mind, silently, you can repeat these words as a way of giving voice to what's within, giving voice so it spreads out across the lands. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may my care and kindness for others stay with me as I go through the day. So, here we are, the second day of this series on the Insight Pentad. And these Pentads of last week and this week, the Gladness Pentad and the Insight Pentad, are descriptions of a natural unfolding in Buddhist practice and meditation practice. So first there's the idea that we don't have to be always in the driver's seat of our meditation, always controlling it, making it happen, measuring it, doing it, kind of, riding close and tight. And there's a time and place where we want to kind of allow a natural process to unfold that unfolds better if we start giving up control and allow something to happen. But that giving up control and allowing best happens when there's already some centeredness in the present moment, some momentum of being focused here and present, that there's very little tendency to get distracted, and a lot of interest in being really connected to our experience, connected to the breathing. And So because if there's a kind of um, if this momentum exists within us of being present, then letting go and giving up control, we're letting go into that momentum, and something can begin happening. But without some opening and allowing something to happen, there's no room for it to happen. Sometimes, if we're trying to operate from our control and desires and all that. So with time, as we settle in, there's insight. We see something really clearly. And exactly what we see varies from person to person. And classically, one of the key things to see is how changing our experiences moment by moment. And we can't hold on to it. We just kind of allow for the changing nature of it. Some people don't understand why this is so significant. And some people have other insights, other understandings that are key as we kind of keep unfolding. So what's interesting to see is what these insights lead to. If the kind of insights we're looking for lead us in a certain direction and open to something. And if we understand what they're opening to, then we can look back and see, have a personal understanding of all the different things that might support, all the kind of insights that might support that opening. And what it opens to is in English, it's usually translated as disenchantment. And it's a kind of strong disinterest in continuing with some of the business as usual, some of the usual things that our mind, heart does. And so a disenchantment, a disinterest, a kind of a healthy, enough already, and I've done this enough, kind of a certain healthy kind of weariness or tiredness, or God, this is enough already. And it can happen, for example, if in meditation, say you meditate every morning for half an hour, and after 252 days, you realize that every morning you are obsessing about lottery numbers, and that's all you think about. So you get to the 253 days, and you realize, wait a minute, a good part of this last year, I've been thinking about lottery numbers to no avail. It hasn't helped me win any lottery. I haven't had a single accurate number on any lottery anywhere on the planet. And I'm spending an inordinate amount of my time in meditation thinking about lotteries, let alone outside of it. Maybe it's enough already. I feel tired from all this thinking and figuring and calculating I do in meditation. And I'm really getting tired of this now. And so there's a disenchantment, a disinterest. Maybe a person hasn't won any lotteries. And so they were so enchanted and so entranced with the possibility of what would happen if they won the lottery. And so after 253 days of this, finally the person starts becoming disinterested, disenchanted with, maybe they start falling out of the trance of instant wealth that maybe the lottery provides. So we call it disenchantment. I like the word disenchantment because it implies that you've been enchanted. You're under the spell of something. And we can be under the spell of our desires, under the spell of our fantasies, under the spell of certain beliefs that if only my partner behaves better, then I'll have a good life. If only spell. There's the spell of conceit, and this is all kinds of ways in which we are overly interested or caught in ideas about how terrible I am, how wonderful I am, how mediocre I am. All these ways of being entranced with that. And so as we sit and meditate, sometimes the repetition of the same kind of thoughts and behaviors and interests, we start seeing it more and more and more clearly. And we start seeing this has a high cost. I've been resentful for 252 days. maybe I didn't realize I was doing it every day. Now that I meditate, I see it. And only because of the familiarity and seeing the regularity do we understand the cost of daily resentment meditation. And so then there starts to be a disenchantment, starts to be a disinterest. And and so our attention, our life energy doesn't go into those thoughts around that thing. And rather now it's more available for this momentum that we're talking about in practice, this momentum kind of getting out of the way even more for the momentum of concentration, the momentum of mindfulness, attention, the momentum of being more settled has a chance to kind of operate because we're not activating ourselves with it all. So to become disenchanted with craving, disenchanted with ill will, disenchanted with all kinds of fantasies we have, disenchanted with conceits, self-preoccupation. Boy, I'm always self-preoccupied. Some of that might be okay, it's not necessarily wrong, but to see the regularity and how little it does for us, how it not only doesn't benefit us, it's actually sometimes deleterious for us to have this. And the opportunity of meditation to sit there quietly, dignified, valued, respecting ourselves, and seeing in this kind of embodied respect and presence, wow, there's a lot of nonsense in that mind. I had no idea. And we start maybe becoming disenchanted, disinterested. And so this movement towards disinterest, and some of that comes from starting to see more clearly the difference between events in the world and our relationship to them. So as I said earlier in the meditation, we might have troubles in the world. The car has a flat tire, that's troubling maybe. Or there might be much bigger ones, troubles we have. Maybe we have family members who are ill and we have to care for them. And it's troubling. It's a trouble. It's a trouble. It's a challenge. It's a problem to figure out how to do it well. And so there's the troubles, and then there's being troubled by it. And just that distinction, separating those two out, then we can start seeing the feeling of being troubled as being something that we're contributing to it, something that is subjective and arising from within us. And we might not feel like we have much choice or ability to do anything about it. But when we sit and meditate regularly, and really bring a lot of mindfulness to our experience, and see how often we're troubled, and start kind of getting some handle on it, seeing it clearly, and being able to kind of observe it, not being in it, not being absorbed in it. The relationship to feeling troubled might change, and we might become disinterested, disenchanted with the value of feeling troubled. And some of the energy that goes into it, the tension that we hold around it, begins to soften and relax. And then we might discover we can take care of the issues we have to take care of much better if we don't feel the tension or the burden, the weight that comes with feeling troubled. So so kind of becoming disenchanted with some of the reactivity and responses within us to events in the world. Disenchanted with the second arrows we shoot at ourselves. So so the idea of becoming disenchanted, it's considered to be a form of wisdom that will support the momentum and the deepening of freedom in our lives. So it has a tremendous value, and it arises out of insight into seeing something clearly. And so whatever you see clearly enough that allows for this deeper movement of disenchantment, maybe that's insight for you. So the question, the homework for today would be, what wisdom, what understanding, what insight do you have about what's happening for you and how you react, how you respond, how you think, how you feel, how you desire? that might awaken or support a healthy disinterest, disenchantment with some of your desires, some of the things you've been caught up in. Give yourself some time today, maybe having tea, going for a walk, and considering this topic of disenchantment, healthy disinterest, and how might that kind of be evoked more strongly so that it supports you in your life. So thank you very much, and so we'll take this another step tomorrow, and to see where, as this disinterest become healthy disinterest, disenchantment begins to take hold, what that allows for, or what we can allow to happen next on this journey to freedom. So, thank you very much.